If you're listening right now to the Little House 50th Anniversary podcast, we know something about you. We know that you're obsessed with Little House on the Prairie.
For more than half a century, Little House on the Prairie, the series and the books have been bright lights for people all over the world who seek out goodness, decency, and human connection.
Here on the Little House 50th Anniversary podcast, we celebrate everything that made Little House so special.
The stories, the characters, the actors, and the messages that have made Little House iconic family television.
And a perfect counterpoint to a world that feels like it's going off the rails every day.
Where is Michael Alden when we need him most? I'm your host, Pamela Bob.
And I'm your prairie bitch, Allison Arngrim.
And I'm Dean Butler.
Our hashtag imaginary boyfriend. Join us for our loving, quirky, and often irreverent conversations about the finest family drama in the history of television.
And the imperfect people who made it that way.
In this third season, we are extremely grateful for the support of VisitSeeMeValley.com for their continuing sponsorship of Little House on the Prairie and the Little House 50th Anniversary podcast. Right. Okay, everybody, welcome, Bonnetheads. How's it going? This is Pamela Bob, your host and star and creator of Living on the Prairie and superfan. I am here with our prairie bitch. She's here with the glasses, looking cool, looking smart. It's Allison Arngrim. Woo! And also, Dean also has his... I was going to wear my glasses today, and last minute I decided, no, I'll put in my contacts. There he is. Dean Butler, our hashtag imaginary boyfriend.
I wear mine because I can't see without them.
I can't. So I know.
Yeah.
But I literally was like, last minute, I was like, no, I won't wear my glasses. But you guys are wearing your glasses and look super smart.
Well, for when I checked my note.
Who fooled you?
You look great in glasses. I have beautiful glasses. Look how beautiful his glasses are. Look how lovely those glasses are. Fashionable. Look at these.
I know. They're lovely. I do have fashionable glasses, and I look in the mirror when I put them on. I'm like, no, I look cute and I look smart. This is fashion. Yes. And then sometimes I see pictures of myself, and I'm like, oh, that don't look cute.
Are you like, is it like the sexy secretary look that you
Sure, of course, why not? Right, sure, yeah. Is that what you're going for too, Dean? The sexy secretary look?
I'm going for these. Well, I certainly look. I don't know. I never thought I'd like glasses, and I really like the fact that the frames are sort of clear, so they sort of disappear on your face.
Very in.
They look good on you, too.
Professor Butler.
Projects a certain kind of thoughtfulness that may or may not be present.
Right, sure, of course.
But there's method to the madness. Yeah.
Yes, right, of course. I have several glasses. And even at the See Me event, I was like, I'm going to wear my glasses. I read better. My vision is better with my glasses than my contacts. And I was reading all these notes, and I thought, you know what? Better safe than sorry. Let me just wear my cool-looking glasses, and I'll just look cool, and I'll look smart, and it'll be great. And then I saw all of these videos and images of me from See Me doing these interviews, and I was like, oh, I don't like how I look. But that's all ego. Okay. Let me just say this. This has been a tough week in the US of A. And I was so glad to watch Little House on the Prairie, to feel comforted and warm and safe. And like there is love and compassion in this universe. So yay, Little House. We always talk about being a safe space. But this week, I really there are some weeks you watch it and you're like, I'm just watching Little House on the Prairie. And then there's some weeks you need to watch Little House on the Prairie to restore your faith in humanity. This was that for me this week.
Nancy Grace. Yes, why is she bringing up Nancy Grace? Nancy Grace, the prosecutor and talk show person, I met her. Big fan, if you didn't know. Loves us so much. And I was on her show many times. Funny. And she said, oh, no, I religiously watch Little House on the Prairie. I watch it for stress relief. And when I was a prosecutor before trial, if I was really freaked out, I watched Little House. She said, oh, my God, I had this one trial. It was a murder. It was just so awful. And I had this trial, and I was so stressed out. I had to watch 2 episodes of Little House on the Prairie before I went to court.
Wow. That's incredible.
And she said, absolutely. And she said, I was in the trenches in the courts as a prosecutor. And I'd go, okay, yeah. She'd get home, she said, Little House of Prairie, watching Little House on the Prairie. And she's a diehard fan, diehard Bonnethead. But she said, absolutely, because the emotions, the catharsis, and the taking you out of yourself, that it was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. I certainly had we'll talk about it during the hour, but I certainly had a wonderful emotional response at a certain point in the program.
I did too.
It's very touching. I mean, so we are talking about we're no secret here. We started part 1 of The Lord is My Shepherd last week, and it is one episode. It's interesting how it's presented, but clearly it all aired on December 18th. 1974. So it was a 2-hour.
Yeah.
It was a 2-hour episode. So
I remember back then there was no streaming, and I did get to see the whole thing, and it ended that night. Okay. So I was like, that was one thing.
Yeah.
And we'll get to this one. I was wrong last week about where episode 1 ended and where episode 2 started. But I think it's because what do you think? So I know, because I was like, wait a minute, where does this episode? So this is on Peacock. Part 2 opens with Laura writing the letter at night and then leaving. So I was wrong last weekend.
Okay.
Because not weekend. Why did I say weekend? Last week, I think I was wrong because I thought it ended with her walking to the mountain. But I think what ended up happening was I started watching episode 2 last week and realized, oh no, that's episode 2. And in my brain, that's where I thought it had ended. But I was wrong. But do you guys want? Is there any news you need to tell people before we get into this? Do you have anything coming up? Oh, what's coming up? You do have something coming up.
This is airing Thursday, Saturday, January 17th. Okay, yes, the 18th is my birthday. I'm so old.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
I will be. Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm
64 on Sunday? It's your Beatles year. Yeah.
Oh God, you're still a kid.
What am I doing? And I said, okay, what do I love? I love Chili John's in Burbank. I love chili. I like spicy food. I like chili. And Chili John's has been there since 1949, for heaven's sake. But I discovered it some years ago. And I went, oh my God, this is like the chili. Because it's like chili. Do you want it on beans? Do you want it on, it's just chili.
Do we do the pasta?
Put it on beans. Pasta. But it was insane. I mean, they only started taking credit cards a few years ago. It's like cash. The place has not changed decor. It's amazing. And they have chicken. They have vegetarian chili, anything you want.
Oh, that's
and
good.
It's so good. And the little oyster crackers and the cheese. But they also have things like pineapple cream pie. So anyway, I'm insane. I'm obsessed with Chili John's. It's like I take people there. I've taken the French friends there, the British friends there, and they're just like blown away because they don't have that in England, and they certainly don't have it in France.
Yeah.
The French is like, it is cowboy food. You take us for cowboy food. Cowboy food.
Yes. Cowboy food in Burbank. Yeah. There are a lot of cowboys in Burbank. Speaking of cool places to eat, we had a dinner last Sunday evening at Musso and Frank Grill in Hollywood with our friend Charles Bloom.
Oh, Charles!
Early day.
Yeah.
Okay, so he says he's coming to town. His aunt had passed away. And I said, hey, we'll take you to dinner. Do you want to go to Musso and Frank's? Because again, the old school is 100 years old. Like I'm obsessed with Musso and Frank's, and that's like the good place. Like somebody comes in from out of town because it's a little pricey. It's really, really good. Totally, it's worth every penny. It's because the places where it's expensive and they bring you like one little. No, it's expensive and they bring you a platter with enough food for 40 freaking people. So you're not gonna. You'll get your money's worth and then some. So it's fine. So he said, okay, we'll take it. And he writes, but how did you know? Musso and Frank's is where my aunt took me as a child. I grew up in LA. I ate at Musso and Frank's all the time. I always get the same thing, and I'm like, done. And ding, you gotta come. And so it turned into a thing. And had you been? Had Nadine been?
No.
Have you been? You were there?
No, and I had been. I think I've eaten there a couple of times years ago, but we were really in sort of a. I've eaten in the front room. We were in the bar room, back in a room where we had full view of the. Allison rated the major table in that room last night. So it was the five of us. It was Allison and Bob and Catherine and me and Charles.
Oh, that's lovely.
Best table in the place, corner booth in the back, view of the whole room.
Yeah, it was great.
Like in the room where they filmed Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, that room.
Yeah.
That room.
Okay, but what's happening on Saturday the 17th?
Oh, so we're going to, I get this cuckoo idea. I went into Chili John's. I said, I have an idea. Because I kept reading how Chili John said, we have the second room. We have other food now, sandwiches. We can't seem to get this across to people. We have a publicity. So I go to Chili John's. I get my chicken chili. And the guy comes and goes, oh my God, you're back. I love you so much. And I said, hey, how would you feel if I had a book signing here? He's like, well, what? I said, okay, you guys need publicity. You need to know about the other room, know that you're still in business, you're still making more chili. How about I come with the books, I announce it, I have a book signing here, they can come buy my book. I said, but the deal is, if they want a picture with me, they got to buy something.
Allison, that's so great.
Show me a receipt, you get the picture. And they went, yes. And so we set it up. And Nadine went, wait, book signing, and there's chili involved, you said.
He said you had me at chili.
You are in, baby. And guess what? Jennifer Donati, your baby Rose, is like, would it be really bad if I came and I brought some books? I went, no, it'd be fabulous, darling. You should come. So, yeah, it's like, yeah, there's a bunch of Prairie folk. A lot of people are coming. There's other people coming.
Wow. So have you gotten a sense that there's a nice, because I haven't posted anything about this personally. I need to do that.
I had posted, and then Chili John's asked me for some pictures, and they put up a little. They called you Alonzo. It's hilarious. I responded with Saldamo. They don't know, but of course the fans love this. They're all cracking up, going Alonzo, awesome, and the poster's adorable, and it's now everywhere. So I shared it with some of the Prairie groups, and fans are reposting. So, and it's on my Instagram. So I think it's a thing.
Oh my God. Get on it, baby. Get on it.
Yeah. So
11 o'clock Saturday. I don't know how long we're there. 3, 4, 5, 7, whenever we get tired of this thing. But at 11 o'clock, we will appear magically at Chili John's in Burbank. And everyone should come and eat things. If you don't like chili, they have other things. They have lovely things. But boy, did they got chili. And you can see the beautiful place and their new room and why you should all be eating there.
Nice.
This is great. I'm sad I won't be there.
Fun. I know you won't be there, but we'll take pictures.
Yeah, save some chili for me. Freeze it.
There will be pictures.
Oyster crackers. I don't know.
Okay.
This is what we've just done. Is the thing that we said we would not do anymore, but we've just gone. We've just
divergence.
Advertising. Advertising. There.
Yeah. So anyway, let's take us to the title and let's talk about the Lord is my shepherd.
Okay, baby. But first, from UBN Go and Prairie Partners and Visit Simi Valley and our wonderful patrons, what is it? Yeah, that's right. It's the Little House on the Prairie 50th Anniversary Podcast.
Ta-da!
All right, we're back. Here we go. Dean, why don't you tell us what we're talking about today?
Yeah,
we sort of did, but let's do it again.
Right. So we're talking about the second half. You know, I've thought of it as being, and I've seen it set up as two parts, one part, but I think the way it aired, it was, and I was not watching at that point, it aired as one show the week before Christmas on December 18th. So we're talking about the second half of the show. It's actually a little deeper than halfway into the show where we start. Lord is My Shepherd, one of the most beloved episodes, and for very good reason.
I think it's, don't you think it's the most
established.
Don't you think it's the most famous episode?
I think it is.
I would dare to think it's the most famous episode.
Years ago, one of our first reunion, was it 95? We went to Sonora. in like 96 or something. And that was the thing, was that they had a big screening of this episode because this was the... Yeah.
Well, you stand there in Kennedy Meadows and you look up at that beautiful, it's just... And the David Rose score in this is spectacular. It's really great. The show, written and directed by Michael Landon. I think the show, I'm just going to say before we start talking about it, I think the show is somewhat prescient to what Michael did in the years following Little House.
Yeah, think?
just a bit. So I'm sure this has been well discussed, but it really makes sense to me. Allison, what happens in this second part?
What doesn't happen is more like it.
What doesn't happen in this show? Yeah. This show is wild. Academy Award winner Ernest Borgnine. Shut up. I have Ernest Borgnine stories. Okay, so it is Amazoid. So
wasn't he married to Ethel Merman for a hot 7 minutes?
For like a day.
Yeah,
or something
like it was it was a weird story.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, his whole life that's a story. So
anyway, go
in
on.
the second half, or 2/3 or whatever it is, the Lord of my Shepherd.
Right.
Laura sets out on a journey for the highest place she can find, believing she can get closer to heaven, the more likely is God will hear her, because poor Reverend Alden, being metaphorical, said the closer you are to God, and literally climbs a mountain. She runs across 4 states, gets to Colorado or something somehow, I don't know, and is somehow no longer on the prairie.
To Colorado!
Enormous freaking mountain that is clearly not in Minnesota.
No.
It's in Canada.
No.
I don't know where that is.
Where'd she
She
go?
runs all the way up there, and on the mountain, Laura encounters Jonathan. Jonathan? Oh, where have we heard that name before? Okay, Jonathan, a troubled and grieving stranger, played with quiet authority by Ernest Borgnine, to put it mildly.
Yes.
The mountain becomes a place of reckoning rather than punishment. Laura's faith shifts from fear to trust. And when Charles finally finds her, spoiler alert, they find her.
Yeah.
She's ready to return home, not healed, but no longer alone in her sorrow. It's amazing, because we've already had this thing where a baby has died.
Yeah.
She has flipped out and had the worst case of sibling jealousy, like we can identify, but we're like, no, this is really bad.
Yeah.
And she freaks out and runs away from home. So we're already going, ugh! I mean, Karen is like, I'm going to lose 2 children. I'm going to lose 2 children. Well, it's hysterical. She starts pacing. She can't. She's still in shock from losing her baby. Oh, and now the other child's gone. I mean, this is horrible. And so it's the emotional stakes are just like they're just up here. It's just the crying.
It's I just think it's and the episode, particularly the second half of the show, is steeped in this sort of mystical, spiritual vibe that is so powerful, and yet it's not overwhelming.
No, and it's not preachy.
And it's not. It's just there. It's so
there.
Beautifully there, and
It is. Ernest Borgnine is so matter of fact, because he talks. Obviously, he's like talking to God. He's like blah blah blah. God is here, but he's so matter of fact. Oh yeah, well of course God. Well yeah, I mean that's what God does. I mean of course God hears you. Yeah, what are you talking? I talk to God. Yeah, I just talk to him.
And he's not creepy. You're not ever worried about Laura being on this mountain with a man. Like there's nothing creepy about him. I don't know how he really mastered it. I was watching it going, my God, he really hit the right balance of what the tone is for this. Where that it's not preachy, it's not cloying, it's not creepy. It is so purely pure. It's so innocent and pure, and she is also so. I think this is her best performance. I think this is her best.
I think she's
performance of all time.
It's heart wrenching. Well, and what I mean.
Well, it's her favorite performance of hers.
Oh my God, she's incredible.
But this is why the man had an Oscar. Hi, this is the Academy Award winner. He's that good. Ernest Borgnine.
Did he win for Marty? Was that what he won for?
Yes.
Marty. I love that movie too.
What are you gonna do in there, man? I don't know. What are you gonna do? Marty, heartbreaking. He knows what to do. And so, he does. He's just like, he's obviously, you're like, who is this guy? Why is he up? Right. But he's so normal. He's like so normal.
Right.
Do it. So wait, this thing starts.
So on Peacock, the part 2, if we're breaking it up into 2 parts, opens with, they've just had the best day ever, and it's nighttime. It's in the middle of the night. Laura is writing her goodbye note, and she leaves. And then we see the cute Sunday morning waking up Ma, and everything's nice and perky, and then they realize she is gone, and that's when Mary spills the beans.
Okay, can I freak out and do the nitpicky crazy thing? So when she's writing the letter, dear Pa, not Ma, not dear Ma, Pa, Mary, Carrie, if someone reads this to you, not to my entire family whom I love, it's dear Pa. because that's what it's all about. That she thought he favored the boy
Right.
and the son, and I'm going to go trade myself to go get you your
That's
son
right.
back. So it's all dear Pa,
Yeah.
which is really like weird, but it makes sense.
Yeah, for her
Because, you go,
psychology.
why isn't this letter to her mother? Jesus, because this is all about her and Pa and the baby brother.
Right. Right. Okay, so she walks towards this mountain. She gets up the mountain.
It's one of those long walks. Michael loved
Really
the long
long?
walks. This is one of those things, one of those moments in Little House which you just did not see on television in that era. So cinematic.
Yeah.
The camera back,
The music.
just the
Chimes.
beautiful chimes. David Rose with this, she's on this mission, and the camera just holds as she's walking towards it's an absolutely beautiful setup for what is to come. And he tells you, David, as he always does, tells us exactly the space we need to be in emotionally, or that he's putting us there to step into this world. It's just absolutely extraordinary.
Also, what I find interesting about that theme, that, you know, the music that he wrote, the da 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 da. Okay, so it transforms the more we know what the episode is about. So when she's going up the mountain, and it's like the music represents like she's going up a mountain, la la la, right? Like she's climbing, she's going on a long walk. But by the end of the episode, that music comes again, and it represents an entirely different thing of like this spirituality and this otherworldly experience, and what we're taking away from that, whatever that is we might take away from that. The music then turns into something else, which is so fascinating because it's the same exact theme.
It's the the terror of the guys looking for her, we're not going to find her, and then the triumph of
Yes.
Is anyone else upset that she didn't take the dog?
Oh, I never thought about it.
I had forgotten how much that freaked me out. And then I'm watching him go, oh my God, she's running away, and she's writing, which nowadays.
Well, but she was going to never.
trade,
she was
to
leaving
never
with the
come
intent
back.
of never come back.
Right.
She would never deprive the
Dog
family
has
of
to stay
Jack.
with Carrie and everyone, but she's writing what like nowadays it's a suicide note. People
Yeah,
would
right,
freak out.
right.
And then she leaves the dog, and that's like I said, because that makes so permanent. She's never coming back. She leaves the dog, so you know she's serious. She's going, no, I guess my sisters. Need
Ooh,
the
that's
dog.
a whole other level.
She has this very sweet line that, you know, other than Jack and Mr. Edwards, Jonathan,
Okay.
you're my best friend.
Can we talk about this for a second? Let's take it back. So she's on the mountain. She sleeps on the mountain. She wakes up to a man with that shot of that shimmering sun, and we just see the outline of him, that backlit outline, and then he pops into the sun, and we finally see it. Ernest Borgnine.
And are we supposed to be scared for a moment? But then, but then you're also like, is this a person? Because he just kind of came out of the sun.
That's
like,
right. Sort of other world. Where did he come from? What is happening? And the two of them begin this lovely relationship. We know immediately he's no one to be afraid of. He is there as a benevolent friend. But interestingly enough, I don't remember the last time I watched these episodes. It must have been years ago, because now watching it again, as so many of these episodes, it's like, oh wow, my perspective of this is different now that I'm this much older. But the beautiful spirituality in this episode, and these little moments that as a kid I did not fully pick up on, that I'm watching now going, oh my God, oh my gosh. And one of them was you know, they're talking. I have two things I wrote down. Laura says he's talking to God. He's talking to God as if he knows God on a personal level. And she goes, you know God? And he responds, and as a kid didn't pick up on this. Now I was like, wait, what? He responds, we all do, some sooner, some later. Which is like, what? And then later on, Laura says, you really know a lot about God. And Jonathan just sort of takes a long look, sort of looks up and a little bit around, and he just goes, that I do. And it's just these little micro moments that, first of all, we know what this episode is, right? So we're picking up on things that we wouldn't if this had been the first time watching. But also as a kid, you're not picking up on all those little little micro moments he's putting in there so subtly and so beautifully that now watching it, I'm like, oh my God, it's all in there. It is all in there.
And he's doing so
Wow.
many things at the same time. He's being this nice guy, but you're like, okay, so he's dropping big hints. Hi, I might be an angel. I seem to be talking about, oh, that I do. Wink, wink, because
Right.
I'm not really a person.
Right.
But it's also, this man lives on the mountain. He is the tradition of the ancient tradition of spiritual hermits,
Right.
who went away to live in the forest or the mountains to commune with God.
Right.
And these are the people who wrote parts of the Bible, who and wrote great religious books.
Yes.
People over the years who wrote that went away to study God and spirituality, the Bible. This is what he's doing. He's a hermit. He's living in the mountain. That's who
Right.
he is.
There's even a
So-
tarot card after the guy. Yeah, right. The hermit.
Oh,
Right.
So he's doing both. So yes, we're supposed to go, is it an angel? But he's also going, do you know God? Yeah, that I do. Because I've been on this mountain for like 30 freaking years. And I worked some stuff out.
Yeah, and the lion.
Why did he go there? What terrible thing happened
That's right.
to this poor man? Because you
If
get
he's a
this
man.
sadness.
If he's a man. If he's a man.
What happened? Right, if he's a man. I think he's a man. I thought, oh, maybe he's an angel. You know, 12, and now I'm like, dude, it's a guy. It's a guy. Really spiritual, evolved
No,
guy.
of course.
Well, it could be
He's a
either. That's the
guru.
thing. We don't
He's-
officially know.
Right.
They leave it hanging, and
Well, I
Ernest
think-
Borgnine does both. Boom. Yeah.
I think we do find out at least where Michael's position is on it later in the episode when Laura steps away and what does he say? He says something like he speaks to nobody.
He says with a
And-
child like that, it makes it all worth it or something like that.
There you go. Exactly. And he's not musing it
No,
under his breath. He's saying it to someone.
that's right.
Because he
It's
talks
a
to
Wonderful
God.
Life with
He
Clarence.
does.
Yes,
God. He's a dude.
absolutely. It's that.
Absolutely
Yeah.
talks to God.
I think what's so beautiful about this is we come into this with this very strong sense of Laura's need. She is on this very noble mission to fix something that she feels she did terribly wrong, and Michael gave her this character, put this character in place to help her solve that. Someone who is prescient and someone who is gentle and someone who is seemingly all-knowing about everything.
That's right.
Even when he doesn't know, he sort of knows as he doesn't know.
Right.
I mean, so he's
And he's
it's
careful.
a beautiful, beautiful character. I think, and I want to say, I think the first time I saw this episode, and it probably was, 30 years ago. I mean, 30, 40 years ago, the first time I saw this episode, it was very clear to me in that first viewing, and of course I'm an adult at that point, that they're starting with that first shot with the backlighting on him, that there is something afoot here. This just isn't a guy on a mountain.
Right. That's
he's
what I
there
think.
for a reason.
Yes.
He's there for a reason.
We are to think that, and as you said, okay, and then later, Highway to Heaven. Oh, look, Jonathan, and he's an angel. Ah, ha, ha. Yes, absolutely. Michael did nothing bad. The wheels were always turning. And he also reused things. We know,
Yeah.
to be cynical, there were episodes of Bonanza that kind of
Of course.
got
Of course.
rewritten and magically appeared a little less because nothing was wasted, nothing was thrown away. There were always things going on, and he had some just bug, some bee in his bee about Jonathan, an angel named Jonathan.
Yeah.
Here, and it kind of, this theme kept coming back, and when it was time to do a new show, he went, what if the angel Jonathan showed up? What if it was me? And then what if Victor French is back and he's the guy on let's do it. And all of the stuff came back. And so it's brilliant. It's brilliant how he did that. But yeah, and he had the thing at the end of the dove, and it's like, okay, he's. But I remember when we watched this, my mother said, "Oh dear, is Ernest Borgnine God?" I'm not sure I couldn't quite process that.
Right. I know. As a kid too, I was like, wait, is he God? Is he Jesus? Is he an angel? Is he a spirit?
oh,
What
God.
is he?
As a grown up, I'm going, nice man who's trying to get away from people. He's trying to be alone. And this girl shows up, and he quite rightly goes, oh, wow, wait, what are you doing here? because he is a sane adult. And it looks like, I mean, as I said, his clothes are in good repair, and he has porridge. So unless there's a goat or a cow hiding behind the rock,
Right.
there's some village he goes to somewhere to get things once a year or something. But he's by himself, and he wants to be by himself, and he's been by himself for a really long time. And this child, and he's right away is like, why is a little girl up in these mountains? She's going to die of exposure, if not starve. This is terrible. I got to find out why this poor child. Where's your parents? What do you do? He quite sensibly goes, why are you here? And where's mom and dad, kid?
Yeah.
And then I run away, and he's like, hey, I ran away as a kid. Yeah, okay. She's running away. Great. She'll be out of here in an hour. Great. Fabulous. So, yeah, you ran away. Well, let's get you comfortably. And then, your mom and dad. And he starts going, so tell me more. Mom and dad, they must be awful. Oh, no, they're wonderful. I love them. And he's like, okay, what the heck? I've seen kids who run away from home, join the circus, get away. Her parents are lovely. She's running away. What the heck is going on? And this terrible story. And he's like, whoa. Okay, I have to get this child back to her parents. Yeah. Because he is a good guy. He is saying, I got to get her out of here.
So she's doing the cynical version of it. Not cynical, I guess, but the secular version of this, which you can interpret as he's just a guy.
He knows everything she's going to say before she says it. And he's leading her to share.
And he knows, he goes, okay, your parent, they're looking for you. No, they're not looking for you. He goes, okay, how many kooky runaway kids who went to see the world, went camping, you probably mostly boys, showed up sometimes, and he had to go, son, you need to go home. So he's probably heard this before, but as a little girl, this is terrible. So there's a river, and he says, they're looking for you. He knows where the search parties go when someone's lost in the woods. He's not dumb.
Don't deny me of my angel experience.
And she's like, God's tears. And he goes, look, I made you a cross that I quite just happened to astutely carve your name on in big letters. And then you watch him. Oh, no, let me put it around your neck with this incredibly filmy piece of string. He could have put a big fat cord on that thing. He had leather from his stuff he made. He could have made a leather lanyard. And no, it's this little tiny piece of string that is not going to hold. And you see him tie it. There, I've tied. He's like barely tied this thing on her neck. I watch it and I go, whoop! And then they go to the river. And she's like, I lost my cross. And he goes, did your cross fall off your neck with your name on it into the river to go downstream? Oh, don't worry, I'll make you another one.
Oh my God, she's giving cynic. Okay, but what if this was an angel or something of the sort and who knew the plan, who knew how it was all going to piece together, and he was connecting the dots of, if I do this, then this and this and this, I know they're going to be going here.
Yeah. If I throw a big cross with her name on it in the river, it'll go downstream and they can't miss it because it's this freaking big and has her name on it. They'll pick her up.
And when Pa's there filling his canteen, distraught at the end of his rope, and you see this thing floating as if being pulled, which of course it was, being pulled right to him. I mean, it's all so beautiful and
it's so beautiful.
That's the big crime scene. That's the big crime scene. When he
actually, I have another one that really hit me. But
they think they're going to find her. Edwards is like, and they go, "Oh my God, we're not going to find her," and he just cracks. He just breaks and gets and then that's the kill. That's where I die.
Oh, really? That's where he got you. Let's take a little break. Pamela, let's take a little break.
We still have so much more to talk about. There's a lot to talk about in this episode, but we will take a break, and we will be back in a minute.
When you visit Simi Valley, California, you're stepping into the pages of history. Go from the pioneers to the presidents. Explore beautiful wildflowers, hike through iconic Hollywood locations, and end your day aboard the actual Air Force One at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library and Museum. Throughout the summer, take the Little House 50th Anniversary Tour at Big Sky Movie Ranch. Less than 15 minutes from Los Angeles and 30 minutes from Universal Studios, Simi Valley has small-town charm with big-time history. Go to visitsimivalley.com for more information. We are so grateful to visitsimivalley.com for their commitment to presenting the Little House 50th Anniversary podcast.
All right, guys, we're back. Okay, we're going to take it back because we skipped forward just a a hair, just a tad, just a titch. So we're going to go back and Pa and Edwards are, I think they've already been out looking, and then they're going to go again looking because they failed. And they're packing, and Ma's getting their canteens and water and lunch and blah, 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 blah. And baby Carrie is going, where's Laura? Where's Laura? And then, and they're just sort of trying to say, she just went away. She went away. And then she says, which is actually, Carrie says completely audibly, in my experience, weirdly, I understood weirdly audibly. She says, did she go with my brother? In which everyone dies on the inside, and Ma can't handle it and goes away. And it is a truly staggering moment. That landed hard. That landed hard for me. Ooh.
Again, I was like, wow, Carrie's leveling the scariest moment in this. And you see Ma, because I said, Ma, she's lost her baby, now she's going to lose the daughter. Oh my God, this poor woman. And baby Carrie, because what do? You can't go, stop it, baby Carrie, don't say that. She doesn't know. She should go with my brother. And they all have to go, No, so I went, that they, and they had Carrie.
Well, I think that always the thing with so much of Michael's writing is that he's written this open, so the audience knows that Laura's fine.
Right.
But Michael's giving the family this moment of jeopardy to measure the worst of what could be happening here, and Michael gives that to Carrie to pose that. And
it's so
question.
innocent. She doesn't know. She doesn't know it's upset. Oh God, that was tough. And then we're back. We're back on the mountain, and Jonathan has been carving this wooden cross with Laura's name on it, and then he gives it to her, and then they go to the river.
Heaven's tears.
Heaven's tears. You know what? Also, I like about Jonathan is that he also talks about God in a way that Laura has never thought about certain things before that are really great. That he's also expanding her mind and what the idea of God actually is. Like, Allison, you alluded to this last week. He also talks about people are so busy. It's the same speech that Ma gives in the doctor's office when the baby dies, right? They're so busy. They're just thinking about themselves. They're not, and she says, oh, it must make God angry. And he says, yes, angry, but mostly sad. And she just really stops and goes, I never thought about God being sad like a person before. And I just loved that moment. I don't know about you guys. That moment really hit me. It was seeing, you literally saw the mind of a child grow in that moment, of expand in a way, of broadening her horizons in a way, so innocently also, that she had never thought of it that way. I don't know why that moment got me, but that moment really got me.
It's because, and he, as whether you believe he's the angel, so he knows him, or he's a man who has really had a lot of time to think about the nature of God, the nature of the universe, the meaning of humanity and spirituality, and say, we're all getting this wrong. God loves us, and God is sad. God is hurt when he sees this suffering. And her just going, wait, what?
They've also found a dove, right? They found a dove.
For Angel here.
You're voting for Angel, Team Angel.
Dean, Mr. Very skeptic Earth-like science.
I know.
Don't come to me with
in the context of the storytelling, it's very clear where Michael's heading with all this.
And I'm like, it's a dude. But he definitely knows his stuff. He knows his stuff. He gets it.
And also, this will matter later, but they found this dove with a broken wing, and they're tending to the dove. Now, the other thing that happens is, so they go down to the river with Heaven's Tears, and her necklace, the giant cross with her name on it.
Miraculously,
yes, it falls into the river.
Slips off. Jonathan's watching as it happens. He doesn't stop it. He just... Well, actually, he does say something, but it's too late. She can't get it. It's going into the stream and it's gone.
Wash behind your ears. No, did you notice that the string was over her hair? Like, who ties the thing? He didn't pull up her hair. It's over her, and he goes, don't forget to wash behind your ears. So she goes like this, and look, the string broke.
Whoopsie. All
interesting. Something else, like just as an overall thing. One of the rare times in an episode where we see Laura without pigtails.
Yeah,
her hair is down.
Braids.
the braids are gone. Why do we think? What's the thinking? I mean, she got up and left early in the morning, so she didn't braid her hair. But is there something larger there? Is there
I don't know, but I'm so
being
glad
made?
you said that, because I thought that the whole episode, like, that's cool that they made the choice for her hair not to be in the braids.
I mean, okay, first of all, it's gorgeous. That girl has gorgeous hair.
The best head of hair ever.
It makes it more stunning. Oh my gosh. But then it lends itself to she's in the wilderness.
Yeah.
The hair is down. It gets messy.
Primal. It's primal.
And she's in this spirit. She's left. Because like, it's is any of this happening? Is he an angel? Is he even there? What is happening? That she's in this other realm. She is now in this hermit's world, this spiritual realm with just him. So we're not wearing braids. We're not going to school. And she's also gone to to hand herself in. So maybe she went, braids.
Oh, natural. Yeah.
But that's another. She's gone to this other world.
But that's another theory, Allison, that maybe he wasn't there at all. Like
maybe none of this happened. But the cross. Okay, Paul found the cross, so I guess that happened.
And he made a shed, like he built.
A lovely shed with the pine boughs.
Okay. Okay, so that happens, and then so they have a conversation about God, and she does tell him why she is actually on the mountain. She does confide in him, because since he knows so much about God, she asks him, and says that she wants to make a swap with God, that she wants to replace her brother so that the brother can come back and Pa can have the boy that he always wanted. And then again, they have the speech about, he has the little speech about everyone's so busy, 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 which is the same speech Ma had in the doctor's office. And Laura going, I never thought about it that way. And then she goes to talk to God, and she turns around. And I wrote this down because this was another moment that I went, oh my God. That she said, I wanted you to know, she says, if God, if he answers me and everything works out all right, I won't be seeing you anymore. And I wanted you to know that except for my dog Jack and Mr. Edwards, you're my best friend.
Yeah.
And then he answers, and this is the part that killed me. He answers with, thank you, Laura, but whatever happens, we'll see each other again. That broke. I mean, there are a few moments in this one that broke me. That was a definite one that I was like, okay, he's an angel. This is an angel. This is God. Yes.
We'll see each other. Spiritual man who knows we will see each other again in heaven. Because he's also rightly, and you see it in his eyes, because he's Ernest Borgnine. He stays totally calm, but you see that he's horrified. She's telling him she's going to try to trade herself, die to get her baby brother back. And he's like, okay, yikes. Oh, wow, back slowly out of there. And you can see him go, oh, no.
Yeah.
But he's like, I got to talk to
I don't think we have any sense of what Laura's prepared to do to be,
she's just
she swap.
She doesn't know what the swap is. She's waiting for some communication, which she's having the entire time.
Which she doesn't realize.
She doesn't know that she's having the communication.
Finally communicating with God, with this guy. But yeah, she's hoping for a lightning bolt, or God go, da-da, and the hand's going to come down.
Yeah, she doesn't know what it is, but it's like, there's something. She's hoping for something.
But she's wishing for something. To be closer to God, having all these conversations with this guy who really knows this stuff. But the poor man, because Ernest Borgnine is playing like 17 things at once, you see the pain where he's like, this poor little girl. And he's like, wow, really? And then so when it's like, maybe we should see, how about we light a really big fire? Because he's like,
you're jumping ahead. Hold on. There's more to talk about. Hold on, because the next moment is also the ultimate I am broken, this broke me moment. Okay. So now we go back. We're back with Pa and Mr. Edwards. They've been searching. This is day 2 or day 3 or whatever of the search, right? They cannot find her. Pa, there's so much to talk about this moment. Okay, so Pa decides he's going to put some water in the canteen, and we see him, he's struggling. He is struggling. We see him trying to suppress these
Mr.
emotions.
Edwards trying to be brave and say it's going to be fine.
That's right.
We'll find her. And he's
yes.
He's crying.
And so he's like, I'm going to put the water in the canteen. And he gets off of this horse and he has the breakdown of all breakdowns, which absolutely broke me. Hands down, broke me.
Yeah.
That moment always broke me. But again, seeing it now, years later, as oh God.
Yeah.
And these two men.
And it's the men. Yes.
Mr. Edwards and Charles. And he starts to lose it. Mr. Edwards is comforting, but it's like.
He doesn't say a word.
No,
he
he's
doesn't
just there.
say a word, which is beautiful.
Yes.
That moment play.
Because he's there for you. He's there for him. He's there supporting him. You all know he's shocked by this moment, but he's holding steady for him.
And Michael's saying, this guy would be a great sidekick for me in the years after Little House.
Yes, totally.
I should keep this one around.
Totally. I mean, the way both...
Well, he loved Victor, so yeah. So he's probably always looking for ways to be with Victor.
What a moment. And again, another example on Little House on the Prairie, which I've never seen anywhere else, of like alpha masculine men showing total vulnerability in front of each other and holding space for each other, right? Like, what other?
It was revolutionary. This is 1974, and we have two macho guys holding each other and going, "It's gonna be okay." Yeah, it's just like, wow.
This was, I think this very thing you're talking about now is one of the things that was sort of in the zeitgeist of talking about the show. That emotionality was something that was a major point of commentary about the program. It's like, Pa's crying every other minute, and this is a moment that we're talking about now where this is a very earned moment. This doesn't come out of nowhere. This is a beautiful moment of of despair, and comfort, and of course this leads to Pa wading into the stream, creek and the stream, and God's tears are falling, and here comes the cross, and
So what makes you cry? So he's breaking, and you see Charles really, really break and cry, and it's devastating because it's a father who lost his child. And we see mothers who lose their children on TV and movies all the time. Here's the father who's lost his child, and he is expressing him. So you're like, oh no, this is terrible. Okay, so who here cry harder when the cross shows up? Because this is a thing that happened on Little House of Prairie all the time, and why it works and why you cried is they did tension, release.
Yes.
And you get awful. What are we going to do? And then the music goes, ta-da, da, we're saved. And you go, yes. Like I said, the one episode makes me cry, the raccoon.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not Jasper. He doesn't have rabies, and it's going to be okay. Like, lose my freaking mind. Because he does the pause. This kind of thing. And here it is. It's gotten as bad as you think it's ever going to get, and he's crying in the street. And then the music and the cross shows up, and he sees them. And it's so slow. They take forever.
Which is perfect.
Again, very cinematic.
And again, the audience, we all know what's on the cross. And then he sees name, and you watch his brain go. Why is there a cross? Why is her name on it? How is that even possible? A human being had to make this. Why is this in my water? What? And it all goes, and then he loses his mind and screams. But it's when the cross arrives, and the music, you go, oh my God, she's alive, and now he knows she's alive. And the water works.
And they know that the cross came from upstream. So they know the direction they're going to look for her. No, it's again, this is all Jonathan's plan. He has laid this out. This is what's going to happen. It's beautiful, and we're racing for the finish. This part of the show, in terms of total runtime of the show, is a very relative. It's like a third.
I know, but it feels so much more.
But it's so much deeper than because everything's been pointing to it.
Yes,
and it's very powerful. Yes, and so the fire comes after they start up. They're going upstream,
but they're still
and then they look up, and Victor looks up, and there's that iconic, that beautiful hard cut, beautiful, chime with David Rose, and they know they know where she is.
And they flip out and go, but there again, the angel or dude who lives in a mountain says,
the angel.
I say
angel.
Fire. And Laura's like, well, he's like, we need a big fire so big. And you see him almost go, so your parents, I mean God, can miss it. We're going to build a big signal fire so that your father is obviously looking.
Smokey the Bear would be very concerned.
Very upsetting. Yeah. Kids, don't try this at home.
There's big risk in that fire. But of course, they are on top of a mountain, so it would only how much farther up can it go? But it's a great moment. I've often wondered if that moment was, if they really did light a fire in child, or if that was, I can't imagine in today you would do that with CGI. You'd put the smoke in. They probably
real smoke.
And you could get away with more.
Luke, the special effects guy, formulated some special smoke that was very bright and very white, and because that's not the way necessarily that smoke would come off fire.
So they made it
that's Jonathan and
real
Luke.
Fire. You know what happened is they had the fire marshal and the fire department up there, and they had all the backup.
Oh my God, yes.
Luke is the Earth Angel.
Yes. It's rock here. And Luke went, here's how we set a fire without burning down the whole forest, guys. And our beautiful special effects men. But there was no CGI. And it was 1974 where you could say, hey, I want to light a giant fire in the forest. Yes, you may. And I saw many much fire during the run of Little House, and there were people from the fire department
right
there.
Moses right there. So we did not have things go out of control. No.
I think it's kind of cool that your props. Was he the props guy, Luke?
No, Luke was the special effects.
Okay, there's something very cool about the special effects guy named Luke. I don't know why. Don't ask me. There's no explanation other than that's cool. He sounds like a very cool guy.
Luke was sort of an Elmer Fudd kind of a guy. I mean, that's sort of the vibe that Luke had. And I think Michael loved Luke. And Luke made all the buildings blow up. Luke Luke knew his stuff. And so he would have known how to make that white smoke, but it rose in sort of this perfect white stream of smoke.
We had a lot of guys in the crew who seemed like very unassuming regular dudes, and then they'd be like, watch this, and then they would do these insanely brilliant things, and that's why it was the ones you'd least suspect. The dude who he seems like Elmer Fudd, and he's a master of pyrotechnics and special effects. Go figure.
Love it. Love Luke.
Yeah,
love Luke.
We love Luke.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens next?
They're climbing. I mean, they start. They're really on a pace now. They're bringing the horses up the hill. It's very steep. You really see.
Oh my God!
These horses really working climbing. It's too steep. We got to go on foot. They both get off and they climb. Michael comes up that rock face. I mean, this is one of those. Michael was so fit.
Yes, I was thinking this too. My God, the way he's moving. Jeez.
Yeah, no,
athletic.
He really had the capacity to really get on his feet and move. He was strong. He was fit. He moved very well. I mean, all of that. Now, Victor was not right with them.
Not so much.
Victor was not going to be as agile jumping up the hill.
Well, he stayed with the horses.
It was Michael's moment. Yes,
he stayed with the horses.
Well, he was. Wasn't he there?
He was there, but he
just doesn't go.
Michael Landon gets off and runs, and Edward stays to tie up the horses, so it's really Michael Landon.
I saw that where the horses, it's all they can do to get them up that slate that's going, and then I go, and how did the 8-year-old girl get up there? But okay, do grown men and horses that can really
we don't ask such questions. But anyway, so Laura and Jonathan are up there. She goes to pray, to talk to God. She's doing her final talk to God.
That moment where she's
preceding that, isn't that the moment where we see a child like this makes it all worthwhile, isn't it?
Yes.
That's
after she says, "You're my best friend."
And she prays like a little doll, like a little doll, like a figurine.
Yeah. And I think that, for me, that is watching it last night for the umpteenth time, is we're looking for those markers that go out. at that point, Allison, this is not just a guy,
Allison,
some old hermit
she's
on a hill.
She's hanging.
I know you're sticking with that story, but that's not what it is.
He's a really smart hermit.
She's digging her heels in, baby.
Who just talks to nobody.
He knows what to say to that girl. He's like a PhD in psychology and a survivalist.
Okay, you're just being arbitrary now.
He's really smart. He's had a lot of time to think about things. He's had a lot of time to figure stuff out.
Wow.
He's really smart.
Okay, well, in cinematic fashion, she prays. It's gorgeous. And then she says, please, God, answer me. And then we hear Laura calling her name. And she's like, what the God? Like, and then realizes, no, this is her dad. And she's like, no, this wasn't what I prayed for. I don't want him to find me. I want to swap. So she starts running away.
Right.
And this was number 87 in this episode that also broke me, was that she's running.
That was the moment for me.
For you?
That moment.
This
moment with Jonathan was the moment for me.
Well, when I hear
God has made his decision.
He a sign and you hear Laura, I went.
So she runs because she's like, no, I don't want him to find me. And Jonathan grabs her and stops her, and she's like, no, this is not what I wanted. This isn't what I wanted. And he said, yes, it is. This is the decision.
Again, not spoken by a hermit on a hill. This is someone who knows things.
Yes, this is really smart.
This is someone who knows things. Yeah. I mean, a hermit doesn't know who Pa is. A hermit doesn't know who this guy is, and maybe he could be out to harm. No, Jonathan knows.
And she says,
Ernest lays down the law and tells her, no, child.
And Jonathan says, no, God has made his decision, and how else could your father have found you? And she's like, well, how do you know? And he says, he told me, child. Go to him. Which again, the Kleenex, where I was watching this with Margot. Margot was watching this for the first time, and I am bawling.
No, it's a beautiful moment. And then, of course, then that which leads us to the moment, beautiful moment, perhaps ever in the series,
on all TV,
everything. It is a beautiful, beautiful moment. I think this is something that sets Little House in people's hearts. That it's really the hook that
this is the episode.
You know what this is about. And what where this series is, and what it stands for, and this beautiful moment, father-daughter, and I think Melissa has spoken about this moment so many times through the years as to what this moment meant in her relationship with Michael, how that set it for her.
It's so beautiful when he finds any parent. I mean, you must have just been, besides yourself, any parent your child's missing for God. Is it days? Is it weeks? We don't even. And it's just heartbreaking. It's just incredible.
And the two of them are so in it. I mean, there's just no acting involved whatsoever. They're just so in it. And okay, ready? Here we go. Here I go. Here's going to be my one Michael Landon comment of the day, which is, he has never looked better. He is so gorgeous in this episode. My God, the stubble, the tan, the crying, the vulnerability, the masculinity, the devoted father, the love. It's just this is everything any woman could ever want in any man ever. And he's just also so physically freaking beautiful. This is the ultimate Pa episode
ever. A beautiful man who will save a child. You're like, I'm dead. And that's it. But this episode was for Kisses Health First. He knew women were the big audience. So this scene, every child, every adult who wishes they had a wonderful father goes, wow, and loses it.
Of course.
But all the women go, I cannot believe they're showing this on television. Yeah. Wow.
And also, who's the jerk I'm married to? Right, exactly.
There were women going, I'm going to go run away to a mountain and see what happens.
Everywhere are looking over their wives' shoulders as they're streaming, the tears are streaming in their face, and they're saying, I am so screwed.
That's it.
I have no shot here.
Who the hell did I marry? Okay, yeah.
Well, I have no chance here. I mean, I can never be that.
No, of course not. But what, just again, what an amazing example as a man to put on film this example of a man. I mean, I talk about it on Bonnethead Anonymous episode and Living on a Prairie, right? Like he can be strong, but soft. He can be masculine, but like you can be all of it, and it doesn't deplete or diminish your masculinity whatsoever. If anything, it makes it bigger and better, right? It just,
of course.
Yes.
Of course.
This is the ultimate I think non-toxic masculinity. When people say, we want to see a real man, but not the toxic, this is the guy.
Right.
This is
right. We don't want a strong man. We want a real man. That's it. Yes.
I think that, the way that men have been enculturated for years, I mean, I think it's the rare family that creates that space for a son,
a boy,
to have that kind of access to emotional life.
Yeah.
That just isn't the norm. It's not that it's not all in there.
Oh, it definitely is in there. It gets suppressed, repressed, squashed down.
It just is not given space because it's perceived out of insecurity as weakness, as vulnerabilities, weakness, and we're seeing this all through. We're seeing this all through our culture now, where
our society tells boys, "Oh no, you don't cry. No, you don't. That's for girls." And it's
couldn't imagine.
An awful thing to do.
It's terrible. It's abusive. It's terrible. It's
depriving people of the fullness of their. It's no one's doing it to be mean.
No,
they're doing it thinking it's a
culturally
good thing.
appropriate, right?
Right, but you are in doing this. Someone is being deprived of the fullness of their or being limited in how they can express their humanity.
And because of that, they grow up to be people who then limit others. Who I mean, it's just like this cycle of like, what are we doing here? This isn't what it's supposed to be.
If I couldn't have this, you can't have it either. And it's that kind of thinking. Michael was certainly a conduit for the reconsideration of what masculinity could be.
It's so interesting, and it's so interesting, and I wonder whether that stemmed out of his growing up, whether he was not allowed to cry because he had this horrible mother and parentage and and I'm sure this was just a way for him to finally release everything in a way that says, see, it's okay. This is okay for us to do this.
Oh, I felt like the show was so much therapy. I said we were all in group therapy with Michael for 7 years, and it went very well. Yeah. Anyway, so they find each other. Laura does realize, no, she is supposed to be with her pa. And then she's like, and let meet Jonathan. And there is no Jonathan. Right. And Jonathan is gone. They're looking at her like she's a little crazy. But they also see this shed that he clearly built and the cross that he clearly built. And so someone, and she says he was taking care of me, which is also so sweet.
But it doesn't look like, my sense of it is, in looking at it last night, it wasn't really like an active campsite. It's like it's pristine when they go back to it. It's like nothing was there.
Yeah.
Was it there? And
again, not a hermit who's just packing up his stuff in a bag and running away. No, it's all disappeared.
It's the summer shed. There's not as much. I love how both Pa and Edwards, their first look when she starts going, oh yeah, there's this guy, is like, what are you talking?
That's right.
They look at her like, oh my God, what the hell is she talking about?
Yeah.
And then she's like, then they go, well, there is a thing, and somebody built the fire.
Somebody did something,
and
right?
She made this cross, and also, how did she not die of exposure? How did she not starve to death, dehydrated? Someone's been getting her food and water and keeping her from freezing to death overnight. What is going? And then the dove.
We never see Jonathan again, and then the dove that we're taking care of flies away
in the tree that flaps away. But so, do we think that Michael Michael in particular, because he was the one who was right there, is thinking that there was some spiritual experience here, or he just isn't really, he's just so glad to have her back. He's not really thinking about what she's describing here.
What do you think, Allison?
It's like the Twilight Zone episodes are like, did this or did this not happen? Was he or wasn't he? What really happened? Yet, like, okay, and he has to and you see the wheels going. He is questioning his ideas about God and faith. Okay, did she just get really lucky and there was some dude up here who performed miracles and saved my kid, who I'd like to thank, frankly? Where is the guy?
Right.
Or did she hallucinate all this, but somehow had food and water and was kept warm? Or did, in fact, an angel come down from heaven and save my daughter and help me find her? And I don't really know. Oh, my God. He's going to be in church with Reverend Alden every Sunday after this.
Yeah.
He's like, whatever. He's like, I'm just going to church after this. I'm going to ask.
That is the beautiful, open-ended view of this that allows anybody to be in any emotional, spiritual space that they're in. I think that's the genius of this, is that he doesn't come out and say anything, but he shoots it in a way that you can infer things, but he doesn't tell you what it is.
You're left hanging. And Mr. Edward's face. Victor, what a performance.
Victor's wonderful.
Mr. Edward's not the church-going man. Remember, he drinks. He feels God let him down because his wife and child are God. And he's going...
Right.
Okay. What is happening?
His last look up the hill before he turns and follows. It's a little skeptical and a little grateful.
That's right.
And it's
a little nervous. I thought he looked
totally
nervous. Ooh, I like that. Do I have this wrong?
Maybe there's a God and he's here. Yeah. Wait, does that mean he knows what I did last week? Oh man, does he know me? Okay, wait, there might be a God here, and I've been telling myself there isn't a God. Okay, what just happened? Yeah. And I love it. You get all that.
I do too.
Again, doesn't say a word because it's Victor French. And
this episode is so good because it does leave us with this conversation that we're having, where you could have 3 or 4 different perspectives of what it was, and none of them are wrong, except you, Allison. You're wrong. But no.
He turned into a white dove and flew away because he was an angel. Or this better.
When we've heard for years, and part of the magic of the entire series was that Michael was creating stories that he wanted people to sit and talk about.
Well, he got it.
This episode, maybe as much as any episode, maybe more than any episode, was an episode that would have stirred thoughtful conversation. Rational, thoughtful conversation from people of all ages who see what they see and feel what they feel and form their opinions about what they've seen. And it's a beautiful opportunity for people to be able to consider from the point of view of age, experience, and gender and all of that. You are processing what you're seeing. And it's just a brilliant, beautiful opportunity for people to communicate with each other.
And different faiths, because if you're a Protestant American Christian, you go, well, of course, it's Jesus is God. And then, but if, I don't know, it's the burning bush, it's Jewish, it's Abraham, it's Moses. You're getting it's everything. And you can, any one of everything, you go, okay, so there is a supernatural force at work here. Right. There is God. There is someone watching. Is this man a human who is in direct contact with the spiritual, the other world with God? Is he God? Is he an angel?
Right.
Is he, what does this mean? Are there people who are this spiritually connected that they could do this in this situation? What would you do if you happened to be a hermit on a hill? Would you be this cool?
Well, it was really interesting watching it with
You're sticking with this.
I know, she really is. She is.
He's like the best dude ever.
He's the best dude ever.
I think what's so beautiful about this episode as we wrap this up is this episode gives everybody, no matter where you are on the spiritual spectrum, an opportunity to consider
That's it.
possibilities.
Exactly. I was going to say, I was watching this with my 7-year-old daughter, Margot, and because I wanted to know what we watched part 1 last week, which she was totally into, and then she really wanted to see part 2. And halfway in the middle, she was like, "He's God," or she went, "He's coming from God. He's from God." And she was saying this out loud. She was going like, and then at one point she was like, "I know what he's going to do. He's going to swap with God instead of Laura swapping with God." And I was like, "Oh, that's another theory. Interesting." And then I was like, "Yeah, but then the baby would have to come back, and the baby's not coming back." And she's like, "Oh yeah, right." But I mean, it was so cool to see her little brain, the wheels turning, and she also got it, man. Like she got it. It was so cool. It was so cool.
But like,
anyway,
he's like, well, because Victor French, Mr. Edwards, I said, he starts questioning. You see him go,
yes,
what?
There's something for everybody to consider.
Maybe. That's why it's so brilliant. Everyone in it is brilliant, and it's
not tied up with a shiny red ribbon. It's left ambiguous, which is the best part. There's nothing. There's no preaching in here. There's no cloying. There's no like, "Hey, everybody, you should believe this, this, and this." There's none of that. Right? There's none of it.
And yet, David Rose is chiming at the end,
ding, 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 ding.
telling us what we could very well be.
That's right.
Should be considering.
Right.
That there's something bigger than all of us working here, and I think that's what that score. The score is bigger. It's not earthbound. It's a bigger score than that.
And again, it starts off thinking one thing and ends up you're thinking something completely else while using the same exact theme.
Yeah. 50 years later, we're sitting here arguing, was he God? Was he an angel? Was he God? He said, no, he's a dude. No, he's totally
And people will be talking about it in another 50 years as people continue to watch this episode.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's fun.
It is amazing.
Ernest Borgnine is so amazing. He was always amazing, but he's so amazing in this.
Well, that's our episode. I mean, it's interesting because I purposely haven't watched this in years, because we've all seen it 1,000 times. And I was like, I know about Jonathan on the Mountain. I don't need to revisit this one. And I was so glad I did because I got so much more out of it than I had before, which was so interesting. So, hermit, God, spirit, angel, who knows?
Yeah. As we are always evolving in our thinking, and it's so interesting how it's so much about your state of mind as you start to watch something.
That's right.
It's all filtering. It's all filtering through us, and how do we
and your lived
see
experience.
something, accept it? Yeah, and we're playing it against our own beliefs, and we're considering and. That's a beautiful thing. I love that it is this open-ended. It's not telling you what you have to think, which is amazing.
And you can watch it over and over again.
And see, yes.
Oh, wait, maybe he's an angel. Watch it. Oh, no, he's
because I actually did. It's interesting you said that because I actually did. I finished it and then I was like, wait a minute. I need to see some of the beginning again. And I rewatched the beginning part 2 and I was like, oh, God, this is, I'm getting even something more out of this now. Rewinding it after I just watched it.
Stuff I did not see in any of my previous viewings.
Yes, me too. It was mind blowing.
I'm like, rewind. What? Yeah.
All right, let's race for the exit here, everybody.
That does come with age and experience and whatever connection you may or may not have with spirituality, God, universe, whatever it is. But
all that.
Yeah, all of it. Okay,
I want to thank our audience. I want to thank our audience for riding with us as we sort of stumble through our thoughts on this. And Allison with her contrarian view of who Jonathan is. Love that. Thank you everybody for.
I'm going to light some incense and pick an oracle card and take a yoga class after this, I think. Anyway, that's it, you guys. Wow, I just feel like we went through a group therapy session together. That was fantastic.
That's awesome. I feel better.
I feel better. You can cry, Dean, in front of us. We'll be your Edwards to your Pa. It's all right.
And we need to do an all
Carrie
of baby Carrie.
All right,
baby
that's
Carrie.
the plan.
I said that are profound that we just never thought about.
Okay, That's on the books. Here we go. You guys, we'll be back next time. Please join us on Little House 50 Podcast on our socials, our website, littlehouse50podcast.com. I'm going to say it. Like and subscribe. If you liked this episode, pass it on to your friends and neighbors. And like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time, everybody. Bob, get the wig. Let's fly down the mountain. Which paw carries her down the mountain? Very dangerous.
That might be Jesus.
Maybe Jesus.